The ceasefire in Gaza. That's what we'll talk about today. You know, that ceasefire is going to last about 5 minutes because Hamas will not stop firing rockets into southern Israel. And now that they know that they could get near Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, they're going to have so much fun. It would serve them right, by the way, because their rockets can't be targeted properly. And if they hit some of their sites in Jerusalem, they might live to regret it. But the point about all of this is that Hamas is obviously in league with Egypt, which is now run by the Muslim Brotherhood. I don't know if you caught it, but on Friday, the president of Egypt announced he was assuming dictatorial powers. So forget democracy, forget Arab Spring. We've changed Mubarak for Morsi, and now we're back with the dictatorship again. And they really asserted their ability to control the United States. Because essentially Hamas and Israel were exchanging rockets. Israel was preparing to invade. The Egyptians demanded a ceasefire. Hillary went to the region compliantly, negotiated a ceasefire, and basically forced Israel to sign, even as her reserves were mobilized on the border. And this demonstrates the power of Egypt as a part of the new caliphate. And it demonstrates the complicity and weakness of the United States in meekly going along with that ceasefire. Now, I guess Netanyahu probably figured that this ceasefire is not going to last long, because the next rocket attack, I think Israel will probably move in again and attack and take the Gaza. Ultimately, let's remember that the Gaza was run by Israel from 1967 until about 5 years ago, when Sharon, the prime minister, bought the deal that he could vacate the Gaza and it would become a peace-loving territory without Israeli troops there to interfere and incite the population. No sooner did the Israelis pull out than Hamas moved in, put up rocket launchers, and began to rain rockets on Israel with total impunity. The obvious solution at this point is that Israel has got to go back into Gaza and this time reoccupy it permanently. You do not see rockets coming from the West Bank into Israel. You see them from Gaza. The reason you don't see them from the West Bank is it's occupied by the Israeli military. And they've apparently figured out how to occupy territory without having a drip of casualties of Israeli soldiers. So Netanyahu needs to have courage next time, stand up to the United States, and move into Gaza. My guess is that the leverage that Hillary used to force Israel into that premature withdrawal from the region was the Iron Dome missiles. They're supplied by the United States, and they proved very effective against missiles that were fired from Gaza. They didn't bother to intercept the southern Israel ones because they're so inaccurate, most of them land in the desert. But the ones aimed at Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, they did successfully intercept. And it may be that the United States promised additional technology in return for Israel rolling over and letting Hamas continue to be in power in Gaza. But sooner or later, Israel's going to have to bite the bullet, invade Gaza, take it over, and reoccupy it. The withdrawal 5 years ago, which I supported at the time, was the absolutely phoniest proposition, and really is the last time that Israel should ever be asked to trade land for peace. They give up the land, but they don't get the peace. Now, I just read that the United Nations has decided that it needs drones right now to patrol the Congo and reinforce their peacekeeping effort. Now, in our book, Here Come the Black Helicopters, we don't anticipate drones, but we do anticipate black helicopters. But seriously, the whole point is that the UN is trying to take over the world. They're trying to establish a global governance throughout the world, run by the United Nations, with the power to tax the United States, regulate stuff. They have a treaty coming up in the Senate probably next month to take over the oceans of the world and demand royalty payments for offshore drilling, all kinds of incursions on national sovereignty. So if you feel like getting a Christmas present, get a copy of Here Come the Black Helicopters. And if you order it through my website and you click on the separate link, we'll send you an autographed plate you can put inside the book. And I'll be happy to say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever you'd like me to put in. Just indicate that on the form you send in. Thanks a lot.